Thank you, Wendy. First, make sure everybody can hear me. If you can't hear me, pop up in the chat box. And anytime you have a comment as we're going through, also pop in on the chat box and we'll keep one eye on it. So anyway, this is the third in a series of webinars that I've been giving on your place in the new economy. And as we discussed in March, for those who were on that call, there are opportunities and there are risks, and they abound in the local and the global business environment today. Your skills and your education have great value going forward in both. So the question for our attendees today is to think about, how can I leverage my value to build a better world through commerce? And this presentation is going to focus on understanding the relationship of local and global aspects of the fourth industrial revolution in the midst of massive geopolitical shifts. So before we move on, I want to know if anybody understands the reference in the title and in this photo. Does anybody know what this refers to? It's kind of outside the box, but it refers to something. Does anybody know what it is? Don't see any responses. This actually refers to an old song. It's an old standard by Frank Sinatra. So just happened to like that song, and for some reason this popped into my head. So I just thought it was sort of a cute little reference. But basically, we are talking about these things that go hand in hand, and they go hand in hand more than ever. So you don't have to look too far right now to know that we have a lot of risks. I scanned the news this morning. The gas pipeline hacking causes, potential gas shortages on the East Coast here in the U.S. There's a constant threat of war at our doorstep. Several hot spots in the world: Russia, the Ukraine, Israel, Iran, China, Taiwan. We may even be facing a severe drought in the Western U.S. That could, in fact, impact food supply. So then, of course, the world's favorite bugaboo lately is COVID-19 and the vaccine. Border crossings are restricted, and on and on. And all of this is impacting the way that you do business today, whether you're a consultant on your own, if you're working inside a corporation or doing anything, really, all this is going to be impacting you. So we're looking at some really serious risks, and it calls for an adjustment to the way that we think, and also the way that we create, develop, and the way that we expedite our strategies. So this is the Chinese word for crisis, and some of you may have heard this over the years. In Western popular culture, we frequently say that the Chinese word for crisis is composed of two Chinese characters, and they signify danger and opportunity. So danger and opportunity being two sides of that crisis coin. But it actually has multiple meanings. And in isolation, actually, the word for danger actually means change point. So apparently there was a mistaken translation over the years, and it became commonly believed that this symbol meant danger and opportunity. Actually, it is change point. So if you think about it, change point is really more appropriate in this context as we think of crisis and we think of opportunity. So we're going to discuss a few things as soon as I find it. So there is no denying that we are at one of the major change points in history, at least as far as exploring the new world after 1492 or opening up the American West. It's that kind of a really tectonic shift that's going on right now. And it also makes a lot of things possible in the way that we work, in the way that we assign value to the things that we're doing, how we pay for them, and even especially in the field of human potential. So we have all these things going on in the world, and meanwhile, we have world-changing technology that's available to us today while all this is going on. So what does it mean to these things that impact the way we run our business? Let's look at this. The supply chain is disrupted. Oh, okay. So it affects the way we make, it affects what we make, first of all. It affects how we source raw materials. Think about what's going on right now with chips. There's a shortage of chips to put into new cars. So they're shutting down some manufacturing lines. I've heard that trucks are sitting incomplete, waiting for their parts. So think about the risks and the competition that these kinds of things create. And it goes beyond international crises. So you think about our US pipeline, but there are also some very important oil and gas pipeline things going on in the Ukraine and Europe. All of this is going to play into the way that we think about the kind of business we're in and how we have to think about our business in the future. Next thing is the value of the currency. We have the declining US dollar. You know, in fact, the future of all fiat currencies are in question right now because we're moving to blockchain, we're moving to digital assets. Probably eventually we're going to trade value in digital currency. We're hearing more about that. That's going to change a lot of things. And this is where it gets really edgy. When we look at human capital, we want to think about what is the value of human beings when you're in a high-tech robotic world. And I have an interesting little tidbit on that on the next slide. And also think about what is the value of human knowledge? What about what do we think is possible? What is really possible? What are we able to do today? What might we be able to do tomorrow? And that puts in question all the things that we used to think of as knowledge in the past. Okay, so we're going to discuss a few things about that. Now, this information I'm going to give you is from a RAND report. It's from the RAND Corporation, and this report's only a couple months old. It came out back in 2020. And I'm going to read you a little excerpt from this report. And I want you to think about the potential for any kind of business you're in, any kind of consulting you're doing, what you personally are doing in the world. Think about the effect of what I'm about to read to you on what you are doing today. Here is the paragraph. It describes 3 drones lift off. They sail upward as a fleet. They are evenly spaced and they are level. And then they just hover aloft. On the ground, the pilot is not holding a remote control. In fact, he isn't holding anything. He is just sitting there calmly. He is controlling the drones with his mind. This is.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.